One of my friends made a point to me not too long ago that if everything on Earth got destroyed, if humanity went to total global war and we killed each other, leaving just a few humans remaining, and all known knowledge, science, and technology was completely destroyed and lost, then in the next wave of human civilization, the same science and technology would eventually return, but the religions that return would be completely different. Because science and tech is based on maths, the laws of the universe, and logic, whereas religion is really just conjured up in the imaginations of human beings. And I thought that's so true and so interesting, and it, in a way, underlines how unimportant religion actually is in terms of ultimate truth. People have always had religions, for a really long time in human history, because of the meaning it gives life. And I think that's something that humans all want. We all want to find meaning in life. We all want to have a purpose, and religion is a useful vehicle for that. But the actual beliefs associated with any particular religion in terms of the nature of the universe, God, what the purpose of life should be, how everything fits together, it's just from our imaginations. And that's why we have so many religions, and it's why we can keep having more religions in the future that are derived from existing ones or just completely new ones. And it got me thinking about present-day reality. If you want to live in the moment and you want to truly enjoy life without being caught up in your own baggage, well, religion itself is a form of baggage. As in, we could just remove all the religions we have right now and start afresh. We're not going to do this because people are so invested into their religions. Part of the reason for that is because a lot of religions have been around for so long that they have a sort of age-based legitimacy. This seems to be something we do where any religion, any institution, even any building that has been around for a long time automatically gets a sort of legitimacy in that people feel like it should continue since it's been around for so long. I even feel this with tennis players, for example. If you take Roger Federer, for example, he has won so many Grand Slams, and yet people would keep cheering for him because he's the champion. They want him to win more and more and more. And I remember the first time I thought about that, I felt this, which is that it's just because he's already won so many times that people keep backing him as if he's established himself as the champion, as the biggest champion, and so that then builds its own momentum of appreciation and of people wanting him to go even further. And I think it's the same with religions, with nations, with buildings. People invest so much emotion and so much of themselves in the thing that they're admiring, the thing that they want to further. And so they don't want to let it go. But religions are just from our imaginations. And so if we could let them go, it would be interesting to see what we would come up with, given that we have all these alternative frameworks now. We have humanities, we have human rights, we have all these other ideas that have developed over the last, 1 to 200 years, actually, globally. It would be interesting to see what we would come up with in terms of a religion. Now, personally, I am definitely more biased towards the Eastern spiritual traditions, like Buddhism, like Vedanta, Taoism. And I'd like to think that we would opt for a religion that's more aligned with those, just because they are less prescriptive about how you should live your life and are much more devoted to dealing with how you find the truth within yourself, which is, I think, the quest that we're all ultimately on. And that idea of seeking truth within yourself, or let's say seeking truth, is very well aligned with the modern idea of science, because science is also about seeking the truth. So I think any religion that has longevity and that's really going to last and keep benefiting people, regardless of the changing circumstances and the changing situation in their civilization, is a religion that's going to be focused on seeking the truth, always seeking the truth. So I'd like to think that's the kind of religion we'd come up with. But if we, of course, had a global war and total nuclear war scenario, and we ended up with cavemen-like human beings remaining at the end, then they'd probably form Abrahamic-style religions, or religions which have a deity and they worship that deity. It would just be different deities, different names, different rituals, different kinds of worships. And it would be a while before anything like Buddhism would come to the fore. At least that's how I think. I mean, so much of this is just down to the personalities who rise up in the ranks and then disseminate their ideas to everybody else. So it's almost random and a bit of luck involved. That's why us doing it right now would be much more interesting, when we have all the knowledge and we have all the thinking apparatus, we have computers, we have all these things. But anyway, I mean, it's a kind of a pie in the sky idea, because that's not going to happen. Religions are here to stay, the existing religions we have. So I think it's more on the individual level that we can do this. On the individual level, we can let go of our religion. And we don't need to go and adopt and be parts of another religion. We can just seek the truth within ourselves. And maybe one day we'll recognize that more concretely as a species. And we won't be giving as much importance to different particular religious beliefs, as opposed to just seeking the truth within ourselves.